What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Shot Tank. I feel like this is the first time we've done this on our normal time because we had the sweet NBA Finals, the NBA Draft. John Boy's still, like right now, I think he's breaking down the EV of the 9th round of all fantasy football drafts. So he's busy tonight. But we got TST here, Jeb's here. We'll start with Jeb because it's his channel. What's going on, man? How are we doing?
Doing pretty good. I just got the confirmation today from George Bush Sr. that he will be coming to Vegas with me.
Huge.
So that'll be.
Huge.
I'm sure he's excited to meet all you guys.
Yeah.
Very excited. So that'll be fun. And yeah, otherwise just work and then determining. I've been debating if I'm going to do this Candace Parker crafting challenge. Been going back and forth.
There we go. Excited to talk about some of the crafting. Everybody on Twitter has got an opinion, and we're going to read every single one tonight. TST, you sipping either a wine cooler or hot sauce? I can't really tell. Oh, Modelo. Oh, and Over's at finest right there. And look at it. We got SB Mitchell in the house right here. Just became a YouTube member. Huge.
Another cog added to the Jeb Corp machine.
Thank you, go.
SB Mitchell.
And like a good cog, nothing positive will come from this, and you'll have a collective union that you can complain about this too. You guys can team build over your frustrations for lack of utility. But
it's called Top Shot Twitter.
It's called Top Shot Twitter. It's on Top Shot Twitter. Let's dive into crafting though, because I feel like there's been a lot of different takes on crafting. I think it's evolved over time, or at least for me personally, it's evolved over time. But we've got two different crafting challenges happening right now. We've got the Andre Iguodala one, right, which I think closes in a few hours or like tomorrow or something like that.
Yeah, they both close at the same time, so
there we go.
Nice. 15 hours left.
Dustin just said TST is officially welcome to the Carne Asada hangout because of the Modelo. So there we go. Huge.
I couldn't ask for more tonight.
So look
I'll
at this.
take that over KD to the Raptors. I'll take that over KD.
It's not going to the Raptors. All right, man. Fuck you. All right. So it says 1,000 eligible for this, huh? So 1,000 eligible.
That's for the Iguodala. Yeah.
If you click that one though, it tells us how many have been actually completed, right? 366.
And this is on Own the Moment, official sponsor of the show, just in case you don't know.
Huge. I think that's interesting to monitor moving forward, though. Like the percentage.
Who sponsors this show?
Yeah, because that could change any second now. But no, I think that's something to monitor because this is basically 69% completion rate of like people eligible versus people completing, right? And I think if this was a normal challenge, that would be very weird to see that. But now we're seeing people make the choice being like, I'm probably better off holding my moments than getting a Iguodala out of $3.99, you know?
But are we sure that when they burn, doesn't that number go down?
No, so when you complete the challenge, it burns it right away.
Yeah, so that eligible number will go down as the completions go up, right?
Yeah. If someone completes it or sells out of it, yeah.
I see what you're saying. So that number is actually 366 out of 1,400?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know for sure, but...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, and then also if people... Like, I was pretty... maybe it wouldn't have ever counted me because I don't know if I had all the parts, but I sold out of this. Like, I didn't complete it.
So but... That's even a smaller percentage then that you're saying is completing this. So it's not really 30%. It's more like, I don't know what that is, like 18%.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Wow. That is, well, can we look at the Candace one too? And then we can like dig into what people are doing and if it's smart or if it's stupid.
The Candace one's crazy because there's not a lot of people eligible and it's still under 200 right now.
Wow. With 191 left.
And as you can see, I'm one of those people that's eligible. And I've been going back and forth as if I want to do this or not.
So, Jeb, let's start with you, right? So we have we've seen the John Morant crafting challenge, which was 6 years ago, I think. And now we have these two that are live. And kind of like, I think zoom out a little bit instead of focusing on the two challenges. Let's zoom out a little bit and like what's kind of been your take so far about what we've seen in the crafting world?
So I think one thing that's interesting in terms of not specific challenges, but just in general, is the fact that we haven't seen a challenge where they're like, oh, like you can upgrade your moments, basically. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, oh, you get to turn in a bunch of commons, maybe some like special commons, like some challenge rewards, or even some fandom moments. Like you're not turning in a bunch of stuff to get like upgrade to a rare. So far, in a sense, you're like downsizing your collection. For the
Right.
Jaw, you had to turn in multiple rares to get one rare. Candace Parker, it's 4 rares for one rare. The Igadawa is still 2 rares for one rare. You know,
Right. So you're not
so
really upgrading, right?
yeah. So if that's the case, you have to, so far, at least with these challenges, you have to look at this like, okay, is is geez, everyone's saying I need some lights.
Well, except for Deep Thread, he said
No,
your light
Deep-
is pale gray. He was
Thank
on
you
your
to Deep
team.
Thread. I appreciate it. But so far, like with UFC Strike, they had like where you could turn in 10 commons and you turn into a rare, and it was that player's first rare.
Which is awesome, right?
Yeah, and that was cool because you were turning in a substantial amount, like especially if you're buying after the pump, they were $30 a piece,
Mm-hmm.
but you were getting a moment that really held some like real value, and going from common to rare is always pretty cool.
Yeah, I do think too, thinking about UFC Strike a little bit, because we did have Malik on the show this morning, and
that's great.
yeah, man, dude's awesome. Like it was just cool. I mean, without getting into it, he does a really good job at his job, and it's cool to see
Yeah.
people do a good job at their jobs.
Yeah.
I think there's like, and you've talked about this, Jeb, in the Discord, right? I think it is like it's easy to give them flowers, but it's also a lot easier for UFC to make these moves. I think because they're
Yeah.
not dealing with the NBA, and also because there's no teams, right? I think there's a little bit more of a weird dynamic here trying to figure out how to do this when there's no like. It's not like the NWO of UFC where it's like you got to burn Hulk, you got to burn Kevin Nash, and you got to burn Sting in order to get right. Like, so you're burning like
and
10 of the same.
And let's also, to be
for
fair,
the record, I would just burn them all.
Yes.
I think, to be fair, also we gotta say that like with UFC Strike, for example, for the Hamzat, there wasn't a rare Hamzat. He had one moment and it was his common. While with like Ja Morant, he already has like 10 rares. Like even Candace Parker, I think she has a common moment, a fandom moment, and like a rare moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like she already has these moments. So it is a little trickier from their position, where they're like, okay, if we can't just say like, oh, burn a bunch of commons, because then we're just adding another Ja rare to all of his other rares.
Right.
So
I do think too, though,
tricky.
there is something about what we're seeing them do and being like, okay, God, I hope there's a version of that. I think that's what everybody's hoping for, right? Like there, you can just be like, hey, I would like to burn 72 Scotty bands to get another one. Is this right here?
Yeah, and Stan, they've done one burn for the rare, so you had to do 10 Hamzats for a Hamzat rare, and then the last one they did was 20 of any commons for a fandom. So they've done both, but they have given you the ability, at least with that first one, to like tangibly upgrade.
Yeah. So TST, where have you been at with just how this has been rolled out, and like what I don't know, what's just been like your zoom out take on everything that's burning?
My zoom out take is we gotta relax.
Wow, dude,
classic Canadian.
Good vibes, dude.
But no, I think like of all this over minting stuff, I think that one of the biggest things that maybe we haven't seen or we haven't noticed because we're so focused on like what is the cheapest of everything is that like the rares have been over minted like in a substantially more significant way than commons, because
Great take.
So I'm looking forward to as many rares getting burnt as possible versus the commons. The other thing I would say is that I think that it's either people don't understand the locker room or there's not good enough visual of the decreasing in the mint counts of commons. And I think that should be our way forward. Now, if they were to do like some sort of one-off for something, specifically, I would like it to be Series 2 related, then I'd be okay with it. But if we're talking about rare moments, rare should be burnt. And the only thing that I kind of agree maybe with is more along the lines of people that are kind of like, oh, I collected the whole set and I have to burn it to get the set and everything. And I would say that like your argument is true for the 2W challenges. But other than that, like as long as you're told ahead of time. So like, let's take the W. The W, there's what 6 moments before the Candace Parker. She's the 7th, I believe.
I think she's the 8th.
She's the 8th. Right? So there's 7 right now.
Yeah.
If they had told you that the set was 10 moments to start with, and that's what you needed to get to finish the challenge and have the full set, then they would have just bought those 3 other ones.
Right.
So, and they would have no problem with that. Or say we had came out with crafting and, it required specific, like 3 other moments instead of these W moments, these run it back moments, and those were required, then they would go buy those and do that to complete the set. So I think it's like a part of it is that when the set first came out, it wasn't communicated that they were going to be crafting. So I don't think like people necessarily need to worry too much about that for like full set completers, because I think if that's what you're into, you'll adjust and it'll mean that you need to pick up duplicates of certain moments.
Yeah.
And that like, that's from a set perspective. That's where I kind of fall. Or like, if you really don't want to burn it, then you wait and you just buy it afterwards. We haven't come to a point in Top Shot that, Top Shots or that challenges are way worth it to do ahead of time. Right. Even our first crafting one wasn't worth it either. So I think there'll be a while for people, and people that want to play serial ladder, then you pick up a couple extra moments from the set and do it that way.
I will say, I think I wouldn't be the Candace Parker one. I was a little bummed about, just because I wish they would have reversed it, like burn 3 rares from the last run it back and one from the set. I do think it's kind of crazy that they're like, yeah, the majority of the moments you're burning are from this set that we just released, right?
Yeah.
But you're still like that. Then what we're doing too, and this will be the next thing people complain about, right? Like, let's fast forward. Okay, they change it to that. Nothing from you don't end up burning anything from the set that this moment now belongs to. Then everyone's going to be like, well, we have these pack drops, but there's no challenge utility. So that means they're all worth like, right. Where's the challenge utility?
Okay. Yeah.
Like people already get mad that like not every single moment ends up in a challenge, right? Like how many people would be like, well, like I have this MGLE and it didn't end up in a challenge again. Like if we went the whole year and it didn't, or, the W last year didn't get challenges and everyone was mad about that. So like, if we're doing everything crafting wise, when it comes to sets, then we're going to have to. So the alternative is that we don't do crafting with set challenges,
right?
Which I'd be okay with.
Yeah, that's kind of where I land too. I think that I think the bigger,
or you just real quick, you do a set like the teamwork set where it's all crafting. I like that too.
Yeah, I like that as well. Yeah, I think the what's happening with squad goals doesn't really bother me at all. Like this makes sense what they're doing. I don't love I'm not trying to go get those. I do hear the argument a little bit differently than I did this morning about the W one, where it was like, okay, you are kind of burning your set. And I do agree with TSC. Like, I think if we did this 6 more times and this was the norm of how you did it, it's no longer a problem, right? Because that's just how these challenges work. And that's now what people know. The problem is that we have been under the impression, not only because this isn't like sometimes I like to say like we created these own expectations that we're mad about. That's not what happened. Top Shot created these expectations that you complete the set and then you're like, well, anything that now comes with the set comes with whether it's an airdrop or the challenge reward or whatever. And now they're finding out like, holy shit, I collected all of these moments with anticipation to be able to complete this third thing or this last thing. And now I can't do that because the rules changed. So like I both understand the frustration, but also think that if we just wait 5 more of these where it's like, okay, it's not really a huge problem. That doesn't mean they shouldn't continue to like evaluate how they're doing it, because maybe this rollout wasn't exactly right.
Also,
I think, good.
But like, this is also a situation where they might not have the tech available, right? Like they've talked about wanting to do like these hybrid ones where not everything leaves. So what happens going forward if like, it looks more like a traditional challenge, but the only ones that get burned are kind of those wild cards, which was kind of like how our Series 3 challenges went, right? Like there was, you need all of a sudden and then something from last year and something, and that might be kind of like the magic formula going forward, but they don't have the tech yet.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, I do too. I like the Deep Threats point too. I also do agree with that. It does feel kind of silly to burn those moments immediately, right? Like you just lined up for this pack drop. You just scooped a couple off the marketplace. Now let's set these things on fire.
Yeah.
So I do agree with that. That does kind of feel silly. I don't know, but I also I don't have a solution for that either, for the type of crafting that they're doing.
Wait,
But I
TST,
agree.
do you know if they said in the spaces that's something they're working on, or that's just like something that'll come in the future? Because I maybe I misunderstood, but I thought they were saying like, oh, we eventually want to do this. Like it wasn't a tech like impediment. It was just them being like, oh, we'll test that later.
My understanding was like
They're working on it still.
That it wasn't developed yet from a tech standpoint. Like I feel like it's like an all or nothing. Like also like think of how long it took them to like have a showcase builder. Remember when we used to make showcases and have to name it the correct thing? So like
correct.
I wouldn't be surprised if it takes a little time for them to get a hybrid thing going as well.
Man,
that makes sense.
Remember naming showcases, huh? What are you,
dude? That was
40, dude.
That was crazy. That was like in 2002, right?
Yeah. Remember like this, Swish week 9 or whatever you would call that when you made that little fantasy line. Dude, bring back Swish. That thing was sick. No disrespect, Moment Ranks. I love the daily game, but man, the Swish building for a week was so fun.
Yeah, have both. Give us both.
Yeah. Give us something to fucking do. All right, so Jeb, let's talk about since you are, I don't think TST is in a position where you might be crafting for a challenge reward. What are you thinking about doing with this Candace?
I keep going back and forth. So I had some leftover run it back moments from series 3 because I think I bought 5 of them. Yeah, I bought 5. I didn't buy the 2 most expensive ones, and I bought them a while ago. So I listed the 2 extras because I was like, well, regardless, I don't need these. And only 1 has sold so far. So part of me is like, well, shoot, even if I try to sell all these moments, maybe they don't all sell. And if I'm in that weird middle position where some of them sell and the others don't, like that's the worst. So part of me is like, okay, maybe I just crafted and crossed my fingers that this thing's going to be worth more than 250. But part of me thinks there's no way. Like conventionally speaking, just like running the math in my head, I don't think it gets over 250, but it's a Candace moment where she got MVP and like a rookie and a championship. So it's got that like that cool badge combo. So part of me is like, okay, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe this is like the exception because there's not a lot of Candace rares. Like this is like a challenge reward. It hits a lot of like, checks a lot of boxes for like a flash challenge or something like that.
Yeah, TST, what are your thoughts? Like I know you're not in a position to finish it right now, but like where are you at with a lot of this?
Give me some financial advice here.
Yeah.
So I'll hit you with this. When I was filming earlier and my hard drive filled up and it all stopped filming and I just kept talking into a non-recording screen for 15 minutes, I actually was saying that even from scratch, this is looking kind of appealing. And there's a couple different things. And one thing that I'll say first, and also is kind of along these lines, is that even if you don't sell right now, Jeb, you might not be like that in that bad of shape if you're in that middle ground because this is a crafting challenge. And I'll say that for a couple of reasons. One being that, like we just saw with the Jaws, they hold more value than they came up after things are burned from them, which makes sense, lower min count, etc. People aren't dumping after because they didn't just do the challenge, sell, and then next thing. So just some dynamics. But the other thing is that I think a lot of the people that are doing this are set completers and want to be set completers. Yeah. And therefore they have either like bought additional ones and then they plan to hold the ones they already own, or they're doing this and they're going to have to buy them afterwards, which will give you a little bit of an opportunity. And the reason I was looking at maybe this one would be worth it. Well, first of all, Candace Parker's last run it back is like, what? Those are like 880, the mint count or something.
Yeah.
And it's sitting at like 110. And this thing's going to come in, I don't know, maybe 250, 300 max. So like just if we're talking market cap, this thing has a strong chance to land around that 250 mark, if not over. And the other thing is that I was looking at it. I think the set completers earlier was at like 150 something. I don't know. Maybe you can bring it up on own the moment, but
Yeah, let's take
the completions were only 190 and the set completers were at 150 something. So I don't think many of the people are going to be selling this either, because again, they want to be they want to have the full set.
Yeah.
So I think there's a couple like dynamics with this one that doesn't necessarily follow the trends that we'll see with the squad goals. So like I've actually been kind of looking at, like, we're at what, 147?
Yeah.
And there's 192
142
completions.
Yeah.
And so when I was looking at that, set completion was higher. So that means that some people burned to finish this. And I imagine if they're doing that, they're probably, going up. Like, how many people are 3 away even of that? Like, is that probably the next 4 or 7? What's that number at?
35.
35.
So yeah, so that would kind of add up to, like, if you add up the 7 out of 7 through 4 out of 7, that kind of covers the spread of how many people you were saying before at a complete. I do think one thing that's interesting, and one of the reasons I am considering it also, is like if it was under a 300 mint, that's less than half of like these already low circulations. Right. I guess my one concern, and I'm someone like, maybe this isn't really my concern because I'm someone who holds moments or NFTs like forever. But there's part of me that's like, okay, even if I had this moment and it was like the floor was like 300, like how liquid is this moment? Because like realistically speaking, like the WNBA just has a smaller like pool of users compared to NBA Top Shot. And we already know that NBA Top Shot's having a little problem with users and liquidity of higher end moments, So it could be a very valuable, really cool moment, because I do like the moment and I like a lot of things about it. But then I'm like, okay, well, if I ever wanted to sell this, like realistically, could I do it for like a good number, or would I have to like just undercut myself because like no one is really looking for it besides the select group that probably have already crafted it for their set,
Yeah, that is probably true, where it feels a little bit more liquid. I had this take when it came to the Ja Morant one, but I feel like it's still true for this. I just don't know how many people who are completing this set are trying to flip it.
Yeah.
I mean, completing this challenge. Sorry, not just the set. Completing like the burning challenge. Like, I don't know, because like you were saying, TST, a lot of the people that are probably going after this are like set completionists themselves, right? So that leaves like a small window of people who like are just doing it for the hell of doing it. And I don't know. I just don't know.
We always think that, but then like the moment goes live and we just see a bunch of people start undercutting, and we're like, who are these people? Like, why would you burn like $1,000 worth of moments and then instantly sell for a loss? Like,
well, and it was weird. The Ja one lasted for a little while, right? For like a week or two, it stayed at a nice spot.
But it was never, the floor was never,
it didn't last that long.
Yeah. The floor was never more than the cost. Like if you bought it after the pump,
right?
Like it was like $1,000 to complete, and the floor, I think the floor, like the max it got to was 800.
800, yeah. I think it stayed in like the 650 to 700 range for a while, and then
it's at like 700 right now.
Is it at 700 right now?
No, yeah, it's like in the 600s. It got like, I don't know if it was Library or someone was like,
Library swept a bunch, but
yeah. So it was at like 600. Someone like bumped it up to 690 and then dropped back down to like 600.
Okay. Yeah. I looked, I feel like I looked either yesterday or maybe a couple days ago, because I was debating if I want to do this challenge, and I was looking at all the pieces that were used for the jaw and like the actual jaw. And it's interesting to see like some of them haven't dipped as much as I thought, but then some of them have dipped a lot more than I thought they would. So I'm like, it's this weird in between thing. And I mean, that's going to be the most interesting thing about this whole teamwork set is like, it's really, by the time we get like halfway through or maybe 20 out of 30 through, like we're really going to have a better idea of like how crafting works with the like current user base.
Yeah. I got to tell you, like to transition to the team set a little bit, or the squad goals, that really doesn't move the needle for me.
No.
Same. Like I can't, outside of being like a huge fan of a team or a player, like there's nothing Like I'm probably not going to pay attention to it. When the Nuggets one comes up, I'll see if I have the stuff, and if I do, cool, I'll do it. If I don't, I'm not going to do it. But it's really not, and that doesn't mean like again, I'm not like out on them doing this type of stuff, but I'm not going to touch it. I don't think.
So do you think, here's a question for you. Do you think that even if you had the moments, like let's not talk about the Nuggets one, because I mean Jokic is like a kind of a unicorn, but let's just say like let's excluding like LeBron, Jokic, and then like the one other star they have, like do you think even if you have the moments, like you bought them before they pumped or anything, do you think it's worth it?
So, like, the closest example I have is the Celtics, right? Because the Celtics have, I think it's Rob Williams. Who, like, Rob Williams is fun. Everybody likes him.
I feel like that'd be a good one.
Yeah, but it's not like it's holy shit, guys. It's Rob Williams. It's like if you pull that,
oh my God, it's Rob Williams.
right. If you pull him in a pack, you're kind of like, oh, dope. I got a Rob Williams, but you're never like, thank God this happened. And so I don't think I'm gonna do it. Even with the pieces, I don't think I'm going to do it. And if stuff pumps, I'll probably sell into it a little bit and then go find something else. But I don't know. What about TSC? I feel like this probably fits for you a little bit better being a huge Raptor head.
Yeah. And for me, like, it's going to be like, if I have to burn those things and then just go buy them, then I might just wait and buy the Siakam afterwards. Cause like, it depends on what part of my collection it's affecting. Cause like, if it involves me getting rid of like an MGLE of one of the Raptors or something, like, I'm going to want to buy that back right away. So then I'll just be looking at it strictly from like, do I think I'll be able to pick this up cheaper than I can spending it?
Can I buy this Chris Boucher a fourth time or like an eighth time, I guess, at this point?
Exactly. Him, Chris Boucher throwdown.
I feel like this is kind of a tired argument, but honestly, like the more that we get into it, this is where I continue to land, where if it is not like a super signature play, like, I'd rather just go buy whatever their first moment or rookie moment is. Like, those are the things I'd rather have than something like this, because I just don't know how it's going to distinguish itself. Or, again, unless it's like a dope-ass moment of something that, like, means something to me or that player, just kind of, it doesn't, it's not moving the needle.
I will say the Bulls one would be the one that I'm kind of tempted to start speculating on and maybe chasing, because I know exactly what moment it's going to be. Like it's because it's Lonzo Ball, so it's that one where Caruso gets the steal, tosses up and then Lonzo throws the baseball pass for that sick Levine dunk.
Yeah.
So we know like it has to be that one because it's a Lonzo assist. I believe is the play type. So like that one, I'm like, okay, that's like the play of the year for the Bulls. Not that their season meant anything, like, no, but still,
I don't know. Two DeRozan game winners might argue against that.
I would say that highlight is still better than the DeRozan game winners, if I'm being
back to back.
It's funny though. The back to back in the moment was so sick, and then they got bounced in 4 or 5 games in the first round. And you're like, well, was it?
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, yep, that's DeRozan for you. I remember cheering for that guy.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Yeah, the back to back is like it doesn't. I don't know that when that play happened, that was like a highlight of what there's like a window into what the Bulls could be if they were healthy, you know?
Right.
Yeah. But that's the one where like in the back of my head, I'm like, I'm tempted to pursue. And granted, we don't know the rest of them. Like I didn't take the time to try and figure them out. So there might be a couple more where I'm like, oh gosh, I kind of want that one. Mm-hmm. But right off the bat, the Iguodala one, there was zero temptation. I don't think it's going to be even close to worth. I don't think it's even going to be worth over 100.
They better put that in the description, Michael.
Yeah, I hope Austin's watching right now. Put that in there. Michael O'Donnell won some money.
No, Michael O'Donnell's going to use that money to get it. Incredible.
I get one more thing on crafting, and then I guess we can talk about free agency a little bit too, or if there's anything the chat wants to talk about, Top Shot related, fire that stuff in there. Like I know TST, you laid out why you're thrilled that it's the rares that are getting burned right now versus the commons, but I do think there is a lot of chatter right now about like maybe they need to burn the shit out of some commons, and why are they focusing on rares? So I don't think I'm asking people to complain about it. Like, you guys don't have to do that. But do you think that is something that's coming? And do you think it looks like the way UFC Strike did it with some of their players? Or like, how do you envision that happening, or do you not envision that happening? That they don't mess with commons? I don't know anybody.
First of all, I'd say that when I say that, I just think rares need to be involved. I think they could have put more commons in these. Like and just like as side, like we're just throwing in $2 moments. They're not going to pump or anything. Just like burn them like that. Just don't have them like the main focus. I'm more talking about the like, burn 20 of them compared to like a rare and 5 of them. And really, we're just talking about the rares that will like move the needle or not. But yeah, toss more of those in on the side and just get the supply down that way. It's not going to make a huge difference, but over time, and like, a little flash challenge here and there, it might make a difference. I'm like, it has so much to do with the fact that they decided to do it with this set that is a rare set, and they need to like make sure that it falls in those numbers, and that is more difficult to do, especially when they don't know how like popular these are going to be. And so if they're just doing it with a bunch of commons, like we could end up with some crazy mint counts or just like some unpredictable things. So, but what I do think we will see is they experiment more alternatives than rares, possibly, whether it be 12K Top Shot debuts, fandom tier moments, series 1s and stuff.
Challenge rewards. That's another good one. I think we might see that type of thing. But I don't know. I'm of the opinion as well that when we're having a player moment, I think it'd be nice for that player to be burned in some sort of way. Yeah. And in minimum, it'd be common if we're getting a rare. And if they are a player with many rares, I would like to see some rares like we saw with the Jaw. I think they missed an opportunity with Candace Parker. If we get John Collins tomorrow and, there isn't some of his 1800 throwdowns getting burned in there along with maybe some of his other rares, then really do we need that many rares of John Collins? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, my comment to that kind of has to do with this comment I saw earlier where basically Top Shot was like, oh, we can't burn a ton of commons because like, how would we like control the mint count? And I think a couple things. One, I mean, when was it? When they had like the WNBA like airdrop, where they're like, oh, if you own 3 WNBA moments, we're gonna airdrop a fandom moment, and there's like 4 or 5 of them, and we're spreading out the mint based on how many people. And yeah, the mint count was high, but what they could do is like Top Shot could do something like that, where they're like, hey, we have a common set. Let's say they're dropping the next Hustle and Show in Series 4, and they're like, in order to get like the challenge reward, you need to burn or not challenge, or maybe challenge reward. Like maybe they're like, oh no, probably not actually, sorry. But like for packs or some sort of challenge or something like that, they're like, hey, you need to burn this many common moments, like whether it's a player or a set type or whatever, or like it's from a certain series. And they're just like, and we have a whole set that we're dedicating to like this, or like we're having this many like 10 different moments. So we're going to spread the mint count out. And they like, there are bottlenecks you can create with common moments. Like it's the same thing with rares. It's just takes a lot more math. So like they could figure it out. And I mean, I think they will too. I don't think they're going to, I think they're just starting small, figuring things out, seeing how things work. So like you said, I don't think it's worth getting worked up about right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. Like I think just we let it play out a little bit, and then like listen, if it plays out and the adjustments aren't made, then fired up. Yeah. But my take is just like, wait a second.
And then just really for addressing this, Shepard, I would just say the problem is like if they do it like in Pacific time or Eastern time or whatever, like just international Top Shot users kind of get screwed because they're like, oh, I have to wake up at 3 a.m. and burn, or else like by the time I wake up in my usual time, like it's already going to be filled up. So that's why the whole.
But what if we had a burning queue?
Ooh.
I kind of like that.
Liked it so much he froze.
Yeah, he was this freezing cold take. Wait, hold on. I know Jeb was pro this. I want to get TST's take while Jeb. Oh, he's back. Jeb's back.
Well, Jeb's pro it. I'm not.
What? Yeah, do you immediately take the counter? All right,
Yeah.
Skip Bayless. What about? I like this idea just because I think it'd be really funny if Top Shot was like, "Hey, listen, you guys fucked up by buying too many moments. We fucked up by making too many moments. For every 25 moments you burn, we give you $25 or something along that line or whatever." And like Dapper balance. Thoughts on just like fire burning like thousands of common moments for Dapper versus a moment itself?
I don't know. I don't know that I'm pro that. Just like we need to take some responsibility as well, I think, in this. And I know that's not popular to say. And now I'm really pissed off that I am against Jeb, who was pro this before I heard what it was going to be. But like, I just like, because all we're going to hear about is like another year from now. Well, when can we do that again? When can we do that again? And like, I don't want that. One thing that I will say is that I still think that like S2 needs to be rectified, the S2 stack. So that would be something that I would look to. And I think like, I don't know, if they had done all these squad goals, and
Yes.
I know as you need the full S2 set of a team
Yes.
to burn, and then plus something, whether it be just like any moments from that team so we can get rid of some S3 60Ks and stuff like that.
Any throwdown, any Caleb Martin throwdown.
But like, well, like
but
all the people had the stacks. But I would also say is that like one thing they'll say is that it can't be predictable, right? Like, and I'd say launch them all at the same time.
Yes.
They're all the same thing. And then it's like, well, people that are complaining like, oh, well, I want to complete them all. It's like, this isn't for people that want to complete them all. This is to reward the people that got screwed because they had the full team bonus and they stacked them all. So if you were one of those people, boom, it's on right now. Get this over with. Everyone can stop complaining about that rug or whatever. And then we can move on. And we got some squad goals.
Yeah. And that's kind of why I have the take I do with the whole like burn. I wouldn't be like, oh, burn any moment for Dapper. I think specifically it should be S2 commons. And they're like, and it should be like, hey, like these S2 commons are worth like, let's say $3 each. So burn 30 of them and we'll give you 100 in Dapper. So one, it's just an easy win for Dapper and users. Cause like right now, like it's not all Dapper Top Shot's fault at all.
Wait. We got to check your math there, Jeb.
What? $33. That's 90 plus 10.
So we're like, but are they $3 right now?
Yeah.
Aren't they all like $2?
Well, they are, but I'm saying you should be a little more generous considering it's S2. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm saying theoretically they should say, hey, this isn't S3, this is S2. When you guys bought these moments, you probably paid $3 to $5 for each. So we'll give you 3 for each. And then we'll throw
Raptors fan.
And then we'll throw a little. Yeah, if you were buying Charlotte Hornets, you were paying like $6 a piece for these. So
oh man.
Yeah. So it's like we're going to value them at $3 or $4, whatever you value at them at. And then we're going to give you a little bonus for burning that many. So it's like a thank you for like sticking with us, even though we rugged you, you know? And the other thing I want to say is, so one thing that I think is interesting, I think, isn't his account Nest Analytics, the locker room guy? Yeah. So shout out to him. I don't know if he's watching. But he
fucking better be.
He has a different name on here. It always trips me out.
Oh, okay. He tweeted out something that I thought was really, really interesting. And he was saying that Top Shot has technically been neutral since April. I don't know if you saw that. And I think when the locker room came out, I was super pro locker room over burning. I was super shout out my guy.
No, it's not him, dude. I'm looking for Nest Analytics.
I was super pro locker room because it made so much sense to me, where I was like, okay, like it's a fluctuating circulation based on supply and demand. But clearly the problem is that people don't like that. Like psychologically, people are like, well, the moment still exists, even though, and to their credit now at this point, Top Shot before was like, oh, we'll never give out more than we take in on the locker room. Well, you promised some stuff about collector score, and you guys broke those promises. So I am not as confident that you will never release those locker room moments now either. So at this point, like you have to burn. Like
You just need Jacob to get a little drunk and burn the locker room.
Like you don't even need to burn the locker room, but like burning the locker room psychologically for people like doesn't click with them that like, oh, like, and we saw it with challenges where a Jordan Poole 60K would run up to $12 from 2 because of this like flash demand that it like this like insane demand that had 0 of before. And you would realize, oh, this is like a 30K moment, a 20K moment because of the locker room. But people just don't like in their heads can't wrap their heads around that and be like, oh, this moment's a lot more scarce than it actually is because the locker room exists. And so I've gone from being pro locker room to being like, I don't think they should burn the locker room, but I think they have to do a better job. Ooh, that's rough. Drummond to the Bulls. All right. Well, they're not winning anything.
That's cool that they were able to get 2 non-defensive bigs who don't do anything. Like Vooch and Drummond, both wildly different players. Neither play defense.
Maybe Drummond can show him how to throw up the peace sign as he dunks. Yeah. But yeah, like I think the locker room's good. Like I love the locker room concept, but I just think too many people get confused by it or like are nervous that Top Shot will just one day be like, all right, open this baby up. Like, which, I mean, to be fair, I would have pushed against that before they changed the Top Shot score. But now I'm like, you know what? Like, I can't try. Before I gave Top Shot the benefit of the doubt, and TST always made fun of me for doing that because he's saying I shouldn't. And after the CS thing where they really did rug like S2 stack holders, like I can no longer be like, yes, I am 100% confident that they'll never like open up the locker room or go back on all these things that they said when they built it and saying these are the constraints and these will always be the constraints.
Once they're done with S1 packs, it's gonna cost 500 or 350 trade tickets to open up a locker room pack. They're gonna do the same thing at the end of the month. It's gonna be 350 trade tickets.
But so, you get the whole locker room.
So that is why I'm very pro like burning, like just I mean it's essentially like a buyback program, but once again for users, I think
that's what they have team captains for.
Well, that's the team captains fixing Top Shot's mistakes, but that's the thing. So if they burn it, I think it buys a lot of goodwill with Top Shot users. I think a lot of users finally get a win after getting kicked in the teeth for months, which to Top Shot's, to be fair, it's not all on Top Shot. Like, I mean, the economy crashed, like everything's down. But I mean, you're giving out Dapper balance. It's not like you're giving $100 bill to all these people. Like most of it's going to get used on your site again. Right. So I think giving people
all these fools stacked these collector scores using Dapper. If you give them Dapper, what are they going to do?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Stack that Top Shot score.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So just give people a win. It would boost morale. And unlike before with Rakeback, where basically people were asking for a handout, this is like, no, we're like tangibly like buying these moments and burning it. We can make it this big community thing. You can even make it a contest where you burn by like teams and like the team captains get involved and whatever team burns the most gets like something.
They're the only ones that get their Dapper back.
I was pretty bummed they didn't have something in place for those series 2s, like team set holders. That just felt like such an easy, I mean, I shouldn't say such an easy thing. The mechanics behind it might have been tricky, but to not envision or not anticipate that was going to be a thing, just have that ready to go. Like that should be the first thing you rolled out was like, hey, here's the thing, everything changed, but guess what, if you own 2,000 Caleb Martins, you're going to get a sub 500 mint LaMelo Ball or something like that. Maybe I don't work for them, it's not my job to figure it out, but they should have had something in place.
They 100% should have. Like there are people like, I mean, me and a Deep Threat are such a good example because
you got like videos on it.
Yeah, we made videos on it, and one of my best videos was me being like, yeah, guys, like this is super undervalued right now because of the way Top Shot has built this system. And Top Shot explicitly over and over again, we're like, buy sets, buy your team sets, stack moments, because you need collector score for packs, you need collector score for the leaderboards, which we never used collector score for leaderboards. Leaderboards existed. They had collector score on them, and it never got used. I think maybe it got used a couple times, but
And
like
now
association.
I can't. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Shout out the association, dude.
Oh yeah, that's what it got used for. Yeah.
I can't wait though, because I like leaderboards will eventually come back. They said it's going to come back, and I bet they go the other way. I bet they use them like almost exclusively. Like that's the only thing they're going to use from now on.
They should. They're
going to be like, hey guys, we're having a pack drop on Wednesday, and only the number 7 on each team leaderboard gets that. That's the allow list, number 7.
Yeah, and I think they did like they legitimately like rugged like S2 people, like hardcore.
Yeah.
Like super hardcore. And this is after someone, I think it was Dustin Lees who tweeted at Janie, like, please don't rug us. And she replied, that's not my style. And then immediately just turned around and like rugged us harder than anyone could have imagined. So
oh, wait, hold on. Raptor News said that's not true. I think I had like a Grant Williams, didn't I?
Yeah, you didn't have anything. We all looked at like I had the most valuable one. I had Jaren Jackson Jr. and I still sold like more than it was worth.
I didn't look at mine.
Oh.
Yeah, wait. I
Never
don't think
back.
Now I'm afraid I did have Raptor News. Did I really have a good one, or are you just messing with me?
I swear you did. I swear you looked. Oh,
I thought I did too.
Oh no, Raptor News. That's because the floor just went up to 0.5.
Oh
yeah. Like we all like if we timed it perfectly, we all could have sold at 0.5 instead of like 0.3.
Wait, but what is the what player is it though? I know I could look it up, but that is because the floor did like what's it at right now? Again, that was a free thing that I got. And that's when ETH was like a lot.
Yeah, and do the ETH to USD conversion.
We had to pay for gas though, Mike, to be fair.
Yeah, it's Robert Williams.
People didn't.
Okay, it was Robert Williams. I gotta imagine that was a W to sell at 0.27 or whatever it was.
Maybe when they're in the finals, like some idiot paid more than 0.01 for it, but we know that that's a mistake.
Oh, got the Jen Stark.
Got the Jen Stark. Raptor News. How many association NFTs do you hold? Because you seem to be pumping that bag pretty hard.
You know what hurts the most about the S2 stacking, and I have a substantial amount of Raptors, is that they still make up like a decent amount of my like TSS for my Raptors because I bought them at like $8. So I don't even want to like sell them right now. So I'm just like holding them for the fact that they're worth 80 instead of their real value of 20.
Anytime I lower my Top Shot score, I feel like I've personally accomplished something.
I'll be honest, guys. When Top Shot score got announced, mine was just over 500,000, and mine is at 350,000 now.
Wow, congratulations! That's huge.
Yeah,
mine was at like 260, I think, and I'm at 238 right. No, 236. So I have a ways to go, but I want to lower it to like under 200,000 for sure. I think close to 150, if I'm being honest.
I kind of want to stay around 350 because I feel like that's what a lot of the PQs are going to be. Although I don't know if it's really going to be 600 and then the second one is like 150 to 200, then I guess I don't care as much.
Yeah.
But do you care about a priority 1 for rare?
No.
It's really just those legendary drops.
You don't care about rare drops anymore?
I mean, I care about. I'm gonna still line up, but I don't think I'm like, ooh, baby. You know what I mean?
Is it worth spending that substantial amount of money to get in a PQ1 as opposed to a PQ2? No. Definitely not. And it's not like, I mean, that's the one thing that's kind of a bummer about collector score, is that like collector score, you could get creative on how to build it up. And like, you could find like, if a moment was like a lower price, you'd be like, oh yeah, this is a good move for me. But now since it's just spend, it's like, oh, okay, well, it's like I have the money or I don't, you know?
Top Shot Life, a great point. You can up your score 145 with a $2 Draymond purchase. I got to tell you, my new favorite bit is responding to the live token bot.
I saw that where you're like, good cereal.
Dude, good cereal number, dude.
I got tagged in a live bot or live token bot They're like, do like as if I worked for Top Shot.
Do
like,
something.
They're like,
TST.
Oh no, like somebody replied to the bot being like NBA Top Shot Talk, do something.
yeah, and I was just like, what do you want me to do? Like,
well,
and then like there's like 7 other like replies on it already, and like Jacob's, it's like, why are you tagging me in this?
Well, to be fair, dude, what is your Twitter handle?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I mean,
it literally has NBA Top Shot in it. So
it wasn't one of those because I was tagged with other people to do with that. But that does happen too. That does happen too.
Could still have been.
Almost as if someone was thinking, even though
I
didn't know how Twitter worked when I made that handle.
Bad mistake to tie your name to a dead brand, but
yeah, dude, R.I.P.
What was I going to say?
Rebranding in progress.
I will say I do think it's funny. Just slight tangent since we're talking about this. Shout out Shuckster, because he all the time he replies to the live token tagging like Jacob and the Top Shot community account and stuff. And I just happened to catch it on Twitter where like Jacob replied and he's like, hey Jacob, like what account should I tag to help get these flagged? And Jacob's like, oh, you should actually fill out this Google form when you see one. And I was like, Jacob, do not ask people on Twitter to do the job that Top Shot's supposed to do.
To be fair, that was
some free labor for us.
I think it was the Top Shot community account. So I'm hoping, because I saw that too. I'm hoping that was some like 19-year-old intern that replied and not Jacob. But I saw that too. There was like that. Yeah, that was like, yeah, actually, you know what'd be best is if you like sent us your social and then we can get the information needed from you. Like no, guys, come on.
If you like fill out this massive Google form or you have to take screenshots and give your Top Shot username, and like I was just like, oh gosh, come on.
Also, I appreciate Shuckster, but in the same like no one is gonna listen to that. Everyone is still gonna be like, Jacob, call the feds, the FBI, big buys.
Jacob also responds to all of them still. He goes, flagged, thanks.
Good for
that
him.
One's been like, and it's like, okay, people are gonna keep doing it though.
Yeah. I mean, someone's got I do appreciate that that Jacob's just like, hey, he probably has it copied on his phone and he just hits paste where he's like, oh, we flagged it, thanks. Like but
pass this on to the team. I would
Jacob,
love to...
can you send this to Top Shot Talk so we can get this resolved?
I would love to, like, there is something funny, and I'm way too lazy to write this bit out, but there is something funny about like user rat sauce 58 being like, actually, Jacob, I really wanted that Draymond Green for 25,000 for Series 3, serial number 1688. 1688 was a really good year for the Netherlands or whatever.
It was someone that was multi-accounting, but someone else bought the moment.
Yeah.
I saw the yellow warning pop up that said another user might be trying to buy this right now. And I was like, come on.
Came up on my live token and I just was all over it.
Yeah, this is in demand.
That's so good.
We're dead, dude. Top Shot's dead. You know, I talked about this a little bit this morning, but new audience, bitches. Not next Friday. What's today? Tomorrow's the 1st, then it's the 9th, and then it's the 15th. The 5th. So we're a couple weeks away from that was bad math, but
we're just figuring out how July works or what?
Yeah, dude. And then after that it goes to the 22nd, the 29th, it's August, it's the 4th. We are gonna be doing a live shot tank. Live shot tank and team hold. It's going to be Friday, July 15th in Vegas. I'm going to assume it's 6 to 9. Nice. But we'll have official details soon. But the 3 of us will be there. John Jackson's going to be there. Dustin and Greg will be there. We'll have some other fun guests as well. We'll have some giveaways, hopefully some free drinky poos. But it's going to be 1+6. God damn it, Ryan, relax. You guys, every sucks.
Like the walk.
Oh yeah, bad one. You spelled calendar wrong, dude.
Probably because he couldn't decide between calendar or calculator to write in there.
He's like, either way, this dude's an idiot. He's saying about me. Also, shout out Bagged Wine, who's going to be on the Happy Hour show tomorrow while we talk about fast cars.
I started that Netflix show.
It's are you locked in?
I might become an F1 guy.
Yeah, dude. It's
Dude,
I
it's
haven't
like-
even finished. I haven't even finished season 1 yet. Holy shit!
I know, and there's a part of you that's like, man, I hate that this was 4 years ago. Now I gotta like catch up.
Yeah.
But it's so good,
But
especially
if
because
anyone wants to talk about F1 from 2019, hit me up.
I tell you know who will? Bagged wine's ready. But yeah, so Friday the 15th, the venue is going to be announced hopefully early next week. You're going to have to RSVP for it, I think, because we're going to have a max capacity. We'll be able to give some stuff away. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you are going out to Vegas, we hope to see you there. Otherwise, hit the tables with your boys.
It'll be fun. I'm so excited for that.
I
It'll
am
be cool.
too.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for it. I'm excited to just get out of here for a little bit. Get out of the New York City vibe.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just excited. There's gonna be a lot of. It's gonna be I think going to Boston and all of us like meeting up like that was like so much fun, and I think this is going to be that on a much bigger and like more enjoyable scale.
Who
too.
did you meet up with in Boston?
You
He
and
means
TST for the
Springfield.
game. in
Springfield. Hey, listen, Pack Trip. I don't know if Pack Trip is watching right now. Don't you ever do that to Boston again, Jeb.
Sorry.
Jeb's geography is like your calendars.
No, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
It really is.
Honestly, no one outside of Massachusetts cares, but everyone from Massachusetts are like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? You trying to call Springfield Boston? I'll fucking kill you, dude. Ben Affleck has never been to Springfield, never will be.
I think my girlfriend would not be happy with me doing that, so I should tone it
Wait,
down.
is she coming to Vegas? No, your dad is.
No, my dad and maybe my younger brother.
Oh, hell, what about actually Ted Cruz?
No, he couldn't come. He was going to come, but he had a work event. He had a work like meeting he had to fly to, and then they're like, "Oh, actually, we want you to be there on Saturday instead of Sunday." And he was like, "Gosh darn it!" So yeah, I was bummed because he was excited to come again. Like we were gonna see if we could do something more exciting, like one up the bear costume. But I think we're gonna just stick with that.
Ryan Stoon saying it would be awesome if we get a little poker going. I already told Dumbo he had a pinky promise that he was going to play with us. So
I'll play some poker.
Do it. Yeah, that'll be a good time.
Yeah,
it'd be a good time. And Shapoopy says he's ready to Shapoopy. Huge Shapoopy fan, man.
Shapoopy is the man.
Shapoopy's ready to Shapoopy.
That's the best chat of the day, possibly.
Yeah, Shapoopy's the best.
I'm just gonna say, from the stories I've heard, Shapoopy is gonna be something else in Vegas. I think.
Wait, really?
Oh yeah.
I think he was saying he had like casino points and everything. He like booked his hotel for free and everything. I was like, man, if you have that many points, you must get after it.
Wow.
So he's really ready to Shapoopy.
Yeah. See, there we go, going hard in the paint.
Dude, hell yeah. Shapoopy needs to meet Fenny.
Yeah.
Shapoopy Fenny is gonna be
legendary.
They're gonna steal our jobs, I think.
Right? All right, guys. We are this is like my 4th hour of streaming, I think. So I think we're at the hour mark. I think we call it here. I know we didn't get too deep into free agency, but I think how we can close out instead of like doing a deep dive onto every Shams and Woj tweet. I think, Jeb, why don't you just like play us out with some of your Lakers slander and hatred right now? Like what just
All
like
right.
Walk us out. I'll give you 2 minutes to just fire as much as you have at me.
All right. Let's start from the top here. Lakers let Malik Monk go. Inexcusable. Like you're just giving up perimeter like offense and defense from like for Lonnie Walker. It's like, oh, big boy can dunk. Congratulations. Like another worthless big man. They signed who else they signed? They signed like just all these random like clutch sports players who like truly belong like on a G League bench.
So
like,
much disrespect to Lonnie Walker right now.
LeBron, absolute joke. They need to trade him for Kyrie. Keep KD, send KD somewhere else. But let's just get Kyrie on the Lakers. Let's get rid of LeBron. I honestly don't have a lot of like Laker slander. I mean, they can't. I think the big thing for me is just like it's like
not a lot.
It's honestly not. I like if I was like in the moment, I could really go off on LeBron. But it's honestly just wild to me. Like as someone who grew up with the Lakers, it is so wild to me that they're not like, oh, like that they care so much about the cap now. Like, holy cow. Like what world are we living in? Poverty franchise.
I think that was exactly. I just wanted to get you to the point that you said poverty franchise. I think that is what we needed to do. Oh, actually, we can answer with this question: bigger degen, Shapoopy, or a deep threat?
A deep threat is a legendary degen. I will say,
it's true. I love it. TST, anything you need to plug before we get out of here?
Well, I was just gonna follow up on the bigger degen thing. I was gonna fill in my take. Shapoopy might be too positive to be considered a bigger degen. Because like part of being a degen is like that, like, you know, like you get really upset in my view, like you get upset that things aren't going right, but then like you come right back to it all the time. Whereas like Shapoopy is just like, I think he had a terrible S1 pack today. And he's just like, yeah, you know what? I knew that going in. That's how it is. Line up for the next one.
He's like, I ripped a Shapoopy pack.
Well, to be fair, Shapoopy probably didn't get screwed over and rugged as hard by Top Shot. So
that's true.
Yeah, I think Top Shot is like has created like that's like a deep threats like origin villain story. Like
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
But the deep threat's coming back. I got everything paid for in Vegas.
Yeah, thank you.
Don't leave me out.
Yeah, a deep threat is like a professional gambler. So
yeah.
I don't know.
TSD, is your video that you filmed today then your hard drive crash? Is that coming out tomorrow or what's going on?
I don't know. It's Canada Day tomorrow. I'm traveling. I don't know if I'll wake up extra early and film the half that.
It's Canada Day tomorrow?
Yeah,
July
1st.
Veerman posted about it. Where are you going to? Where are you traveling to?
Going
to see the family.
Nice.
Back to my roots.
Syrup chugging contest.
Going back to Kingston.
Oh, Kingston. Nice.
Nice.
Is that where Sean Kingston's from?
Yeah. Pride and joy.
Jeb, you got anything you need to plug?
No. Like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you guys for watching. This was a nice chill episode. A lot to talk about, and I'm really excited to see where all this crafting stuff goes. I'm not like very heated about it right now, but you know, it's like honestly a 50-50 in like a week or two. We're all just like, what is Top Shot doing? So like, I'm kind of excited. I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm cautiously optimistic. Let's just
I like it. I like it. You're set up to fail. Then let me tell you that.
This is.
I'm just
told me
numb.
this many times.
Yeah.
I may seem cautiously optimistic, but I'm just numb.
I've just been broken.
Tomorrow over at Team Holding at the Morning Marketplace at 9, and then happy hour at 3. We're going to talk about some F1, maybe some WNBA, and then whatever Top Shot screws up before then. And last but not least, why don't I think if everyone could do us a favor after we wrap up the show here and we play our little closing video, if we still have one, everybody just go DM John Jackson and just say, what the fuck,
Kingston's
man?
Dead to me now. So that's all I have to say.
Actually, everybody go DM John Jackson and just say ballers. Yeah. Throw that in there. Please do that. Ballers. Show me the ballers.
Apparently, I think I will be carpooling with John Jackson. So
there you go.
That'll be fun. I'm excited for my dad to be like super interested in EV and have John just like explain it all to him. So
because John has an electric vehicle.
Yeah. I know that this is for Vegas, but I do like the idea of you guys just like carpooling Monday through Friday on your way to work.
With your dad.
All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out for Shot Tank. We'll be back next week. And then in 2 weeks, we'll be goddamn live for TST